Hi guys, Jared here with Day Traders FX. Time for the daily video. We've got some good setups to look at. You can see that the markets have been on a little bit of a tear today, rallying a bit, not tons, but we've definitely had a pretty good positive day. Looking at what we have for news, we saw that news came out, the news that we did have today, which was consumer confidence, a bit worse than expected. We do have a pretty good amount of news out this week, though, that should get the markets moving. Tomorrow morning, we have the ADP numbers. That's a pretty big mover. We have the FOMC statement, which is also a bit of a good mover there as well. And then we've got some interest rates for New Zealand. And then coming into Thursday, we have unemployment numbers for the U.S., Australian PPI, and then of course Friday we have non-farm payroll. And remember, on Friday we'll have a open session. Everybody will be able to join in and trade non-farm payroll with us. So that should be fun, hopefully, and hopefully we'll grab some good pips out of that. We have some interesting setups currently. This euro dollar we've been kind of watching and seeing what it's doing and where it's going and how it's behaving and so on. And it's kind of we've just broken a fairly recent little high here, which is our Friday high. Remember, we're always looking for the break of that. And now we're kind of staying below this little short-term double top, which is about 139.95. Now we have some little reversal candles, some shooting stars, and so on that might be able to keep this thing down. But what it's really bumping into currently is from the 2011 high to the 2012 low. We're up to the 50% fib. So we're just right at 50% fib. We've broken the 200-day moving average on the weekly chart, and now for this major, we're talking a pretty big range here. About almost 3,000 pips. We're at that 50% mark. So we're going to find a little bit of resistance right there, I think. But there might be that last tendency, that last push to take out 135.00 because we've only got up to about 134.95. So that's kind of what we're keeping an eye on. If this breaks 135.00, chances are we're going to run into about 135.30 pretty quick, just kind of a spike. So be there, be ready, be alert that this could break and give us a quick little spike up, because that'll just be clearing those stops. So basically anything above this little double top here should probably clear those stops, and that double top again is about 134.96. Anything above that again should clear those stops out and cause probably a 20 to 30 pip spike. So watch that, don't miss that move. It should be a pretty good one. And that's about what we have to do on the euro dollar for the moment. I think that 50% is going to be a big, tough level to get through. Even though we get a spike up, doesn't mean we really have cleared that level, because we're looking at this from the weekly chart. So we could still get some nice opportunities to sell this rally a little bit, and we will be looking for that. But so far, that's kind of all I'm looking for, is just that little spike, that little opportunity to get in there and grab a couple of pips. The pound dollar right now, you can see that we've got a nice descending trend line right here, and we've been testing over and over again. We've got the weekly pivot and some pretty strong resistance at about 158.00, 158.05, right in that general area. The pound dollar is currently sitting at 157.60. So this 157.60, I think we've got a nice little opportunity to run up into this resistance, and I will probably be looking to sell the rally in that resistance, right around 158.00 once again. I think I'll be looking to sell that. So I'd like to see some reversal candles and some ability to fail off this level, but I think this is going to be a good spot to get in and grab some grab some entries to the short side. So 200-day moving average, big trend line, big resistance, weekly pivot. These are all things that will hopefully stop the market and help it to start turning down. That's kind of what I'm looking for at the moment on the pound dollar. It's not really lining up anything else too nicely at the moment. So again, looking for some movements on this area. Nice little reversal candle right here and some good resistance and so on, right at about 157.72, 73. Little break above that should give us about a 30 pip run into that weekly pivot. So again, just look for a little kind of almost a scalp on that one. That's probably about all that's going to be. The Aussie dollar has been consolidating and trying to break higher and test the 200-day moving average, and it's kind of, it's working its way up there. It's doing it. The Aussie dollar has bounced off of the 200-day moving average on the daily chart. It keeps testing for 3 months in a row now. It's tested it, big bounce off, tested it, big bounce off, tested it, and a pretty big bounce off. The only thing is now is we're starting to break some trend lines, and this is, this could be a short-term bottom for this one. This 103, 50-ish area seems to really continue to hold. And so I think we could have a bit of a short-term bullish outlook on the Aussie dollar, but I'm just not ready to do a ton with this yet in that area. But what I do like on the Aussie dollar currently is as we approach the 200-day moving average, I think we're going to have a good opportunity to watch this little break here. We've got this nice little trend line that has just kind of been working up here very nicely, and the Aussie's crawling up that. As we come into contact with that 200-day moving average, I think that could give us a little bit of a bounce and a break back below this trend line, and that's what I'm going to be looking for. So that would put us at a possible sell opportunity, probably back below about 104.60, somewhere in that general area. Current market price about 104.72. So again, about 104.60, a break back below that is where I would start looking for some opportunities to short this with stops up above this 200-day moving average. Just kind of a little short-term trade that I think we've got lined up. Yen pairs just kind of continue to make the move. Aussie yen is testing this borderline kind of triple top, double top area here. We've had a lot of testings up here, and that's going to be some pretty strong resistance. So if once again we break above this, which I would just not be surprised at all at this point on these yen pairs, if we break above this, then I think we've got a nice little opportunity, and that's just 9,500 right on the dot. We're sitting right at that level. So anything above that will probably rally, 20 to 30 pips immediately before it chops around, but just look for an open above this 9,500 and maybe a little short-term buy opportunity as long as this can stay above that 9,500. Pound yen broke one of our trend lines right here, and it's been moving okay. It's finally above the daily pivot. There might be a little more bullishness in that, so just kind of watch that. But I'm not doing a ton with the yen pairs just yet. I'm looking to maybe short them coming up sooner than later, but that's what we've got so far. We'll have a daily wrap-up session, remember, live in the chat at 4 p.m. Pacific, which is 12 midnight London time. I will see you in the chat for that. Best of luck, guys, and make sure to follow me on Twitter at DayTradersFX. Thanks, everyone.